Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be starting a 3-part video series diving in to NRG versus Gen G Mobile 1. This series was a part of the 2022-2023 RLCS Fall North American Regional 1. I didn't actually watch this series myself. I don't get to watch a lot of RLCS these days, unfortunately. Just too busy. So this is our first time watching it, and we're going to be trying to figure out NRG is my favorite team. I love all the players on that team. Squishy, Justin, Garrett, my probably 3 favorite players in RLCS. I mean, just love the whole team in general, and it sucks that they're struggling. They've been struggling for a while because this team has so much potential. It's Justin, Squishy, and Garrett. 3 superstars. They have so much potential, and you know, from the few times that I'm able to watch NRG play, it seems as though their issue is always just challenging balls that they're clearly beat to and messing up mechanically on defense, like, you know, messing up keeping control of a ball back on your end and then giving up a free goal, like a shooting opportunity, because you messed up your touch, you messed up your possession. So bad challenges and defensive mistakes is like kind of what I've always noticed since NRG has started struggling. I don't want to put the attention on a certain or 2 certain players. I don't know if I should do that or I shouldn't. Fuck it, it's my channel, I can do what I want. All right, and in terms of the bad challenges, Garrett, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Garrett G, I think, has been whiffing a ton. Again, from what I've seen, whiffing a lot and taking really bad challenges. Messing up on defense in the back end, Squishy. I love Squishy. I think he's one of the best players in the world still. I think he's severely underrated. I think he's got one of the best minds in the entire game, and mechanically he's kept up with everyone else. But I think he sometimes can be too passive in the midfield. Sometimes I think he doesn't challenge something that he clearly can challenge. And he's on defense so much for this team that he's bound to mess up eventually. So it's tough for Squishy. He's going to mess up eventually on defense, but when you force yourself to play that much defense, you're kind of doing it to yourself. Justin, I haven't noticed a lot of mistakes from Justin, but we're going to watch each of these games from a different player's point of view. Try to find out what's going on. Maybe we'll find a flaw with Justin's gameplay, with his performance. Maybe he's messing up his team in some way. But let's get into it. We're going to start with Squishy. Again, this is against Gen G Mobile 1 with Appjack, Chronic, and Nolly on the other team. Very dangerous squadron. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right. So right away, Squishy cheating up. Obviously, the cheat happens very quickly, and you don't have very much time to react. Gotta kind of do what you gotta do here. Squishy gets the touch, which is great to see. This touch kind of doesn't set himself up very well to follow up in any sort of way. If he just drives into this instead of flips into it, he could probably follow this up somehow, but again, that play develops so quickly, that ball shoots out next to you so quickly that you don't really have time to make that decision. So, all right, this is Squishy's ball. What does he do here? Sets himself up well to go again. Good attempt on the solo play. Nothing wrong with that. And this is a whole team thing. So if I decide at any point in time to switch to a different player because something looks off, I'm gonna do that. We're trying to figure out what's wrong with NRG, and so I'm not gonna force myself to stick to the script, stick to 1 player per game. I want to see this possession here, plain and simple, by Garrett. I want to see this. What is this? He cuts it in. He's got 8 boosts. Let me go back even one more time. What happens here? So this is off of Squishy's solo play we just saw. Garrett's deciding to go for this. Okay. Doesn't read that. You're a pro player. You're putting in 8, 10. I mean, assumingly, you should be, if you're a pro at this level, putting in at least 8 hours a day. I mean, you gotta be reading this better. You got to. You're playing 8 hours a day. They're telling me you can't either be reading this as bouncing off the wall and out in this direction, or rolling down and coming out in this direction. His positioning is just bad here, and he misses the touch because of it. He just doesn't get that read. All right, but we'll excuse it. We'll excuse it. It's fine. It's early. And it was a hard read, but somebody who's playing 8 to 10 hours a day, you think makes that read. He takes this touch. I'm fine with him taking this touch here back because if Justin goes, there's players right behind Garrett, so he is going to get 50. Justin is going to get 50 if he goes for this. So I'm fine with Garrett trying to make the possession play here. Cuts it back in. Does really well. He just beat 2 players. That's really well done. Really well done. To be fair, Garrett did really well right there. But then here, I mean, this touch, just again, it's fine, it's fine. Trying to score the open net, trying to see if he can get it. Really bad touch, really weak touch. Again, somebody who's playing 8 to 10 hours a day, you think can do better here. Like, yes, if Nolly goes, then he gets the clear. It's in your half, but you've got both your teammates back. You shouldn't feel obligated to have to go for this. If Nolly goes, fine. If not, you have a different play to make. You can take the 1v1, or you can take the slight extra second to line up for a better shot here. He just jumps slightly off the mark and gets a poor touch here. Again, it's just it's such a small mistake. You might throw it to the side, throw it to the wind, but somebody who's playing 8 hours at least every single day and has been a pro for years, I don't think should be making a mistake like this. All right, this is Squishy's analysis. This is his video, so we're gonna main his point of view, but if we see mistakes like that, we're gonna switch to the other players. All right, what happened here? Squishy off spawn. Fake challenges, doesn't need to jump there. Why are you jumping, Squishy? Maybe he's just dodging a demo that could be coming from Nolly after the flick. Why are you jumping there, Squishy? You're clearly just baiting the touch. There's no reason to jump there. Nothing bad comes of it, but it's just, why? There's no reason to jump there. Okay, it's fine. And then how does this transition get started so quickly? All right, so Justin, yeah, that's about all I can do. Great recovery by Appjack. The half flip in his corner, gets up to the ball in time, gets a really hard clear. Nolly sends it back there. That's a great transition play by them. Really tough read for Garrett. Squishy's got to be covering the possibility of him missing that, and he's not. That's a tough read by Garrett. All right. And Squishy is somebody who advocates all the time for covering both the good and the bad option. You want to be ready. This is something he said all the time. If you're a big Squishy fan, you know it. He says it. You want to be in position to push for offense if you have to, but you also want to be able to get back in case your teammate messes up. This is such a hard read for Garrett. Squishy's definitely got to be turning back, recognizing that's a tough touch for Garrett, which he does, to be fair. He does. But his turn back to defense is kind of awkward, puts him in a tough spot. He's putting himself on back wall, which I don't agree with. I would rather see him on the ground at the back post, on the ground, right where he's at, but on the ground. Because like with no momentum here, and this is your only run up before you have to jump off the wall, right? Like you only have this much room to drive forward before you have to jump. If the ball gets shot to the right side of the net, you don't have the room, the distance to create any sort of speed to reach anything over there. So there's no point in putting yourself on the back wall here. It just makes your life harder, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if a shot comes up in the top corner, it is better to be on the back wall. It just looks awkward. It looks like you're putting yourself in a more awkward position for this. And it looks like he realizes what I was saying, that spacing. He tries to get on the ground at the last second, but the shot just comes in at the perfect time to where it's now behind him. I think that's not really on Garrett. I mean, let's see that read from Garrett's point of view. It's such a hard read because you got to read it off the backboard. This is Garrett. No, this is Justin. Is he the last line of defense here for the net? Yeah, he is. I don't know, man. Fuck. So he's pushing up, sees the banger clear, sees Nolly go up. Okay. Fair. Nolly could shoot this, right? I mean, it could go on net. But I feel like more often than I don't play at this professional level, but I feel like more often than not this is going backboard. You kind of question why doesn't Garrett turn out to his our right, looking back at this play, turn to the right, go up the back wall. Squishy's right there. If a shot does come in, Squishy could take the low option. Garrett could be on backboard. Arguably, there's no reason to even go up for this ball in the first place. Like, again, why not just drive into the net? Why not just drive into the net here, if anything? If anybody shoots from a bounce off of the back wall in this position, if he could be in the net, facing out of the net right now, and go up for this ball, he could have made it much easier on himself, either by driving up to the backboard or just drive into the net, man. I think NRG is trying to make the game harder than it has to be. I think a lot of pros do that. I think a lot of pros trying to make the game harder than it has to be. You don't have to go up. There's no reason Garrett even had to go up for this ball. So, I mean, this is on Squishy and Garrett. Squishy for a poor turn back to the net, and Garrett for going up for a ball that was super hard to read when he didn't have to, and not putting himself on the backboard where he can defend a shot, he can defend the backboard. And again, you don't even have to go. You don't even have to go. Shit. Again, this is, I love, NRG is my favorite team. I love these players, but it's hard. This is tough to watch, this kind of stuff, you know? Not the best first touch. I mean, Squishy's been on his ones. He's been playing ones lately. You'd expect him to have a better touch here. I don't know. I think he's probably going for a higher bounce touch, right? He probably wants that to bounce a lot higher so he could follow it up for an aerial play. Which, if he is going for that, then that's a good play. The dribble play is also good here. It is a little bit more dangerous, but it is also a decent play. If he just picks that up on his hood there. I mean, that is definitely a dangerous play to go for the dribble in that position. I'm not going to lie, because Chronic comes in for the challenge. And no matter what Squishy does off of a dribble there, if he flicks it, Nolly's there for it. If he flicks it to the left, Nolly's there for it. If he flicks it to the right, he's giving away possession. So this is the best play for Squishy to make. Just a slight, not the touch he wants here. Not the touch he wants here. Justin puts it somewhere where Garrett can follow up. Really well done by Justin. Again, not really noticing any mistakes by Justin yet so far, but we haven't really been focusing a ton on him. Ooh, really good attempt, really good attempt. That's just a really good attempt. Good control by Squishy here. Good play around Jack. Really great defense by them, though, by Gen G. As soon as he touches it past Jack, Nolly's there for it. Do we just see a whiff come out of Justin for once? He's just forcing the challenge. That was very dangerous for sure. I will take, I'm not going to be biased. I will take a look at Justin's point of view here. Alright. Sees Nolly's got next touch. Has to go up and challenge. I'm really fine with that. Nolly misses. That's why Justin misses the ball, because Nolly just misses. And then Garrett is fast to react. So that plays perfectly well done. Good job, NRG. App Jack. pretty insane play there. Well done by him. Squishy, great control off the backboard. Justin hasn't gone for a touch yet on this ball, huh? I gotta see this from his point of view real quick. I gotta sneeze as well. So that's a mistake there. Why is Justin backing up into the net? I feel as though he has this touch. That's his ball right there. He needs to be going for that. He needs to be taking a touch to his corner on that flying ball there. He's putting himself in a 2v1 for no reason. And let's see this from a fly perspective. Bam. Justin turns around, and instead of flipping off in that direction, turn towards the ball. And right there, you have the touch. Right in this moment, you have the touch safely to your corner. I don't know if he doesn't realize the spacing or what. But, I mean, I'm watching this in real time. It's like I'm putting myself in their shoes. I'm pretending as if I'm the one playing. That's kind of how you do a replay analysis, at least in my opinion. And if I'm Justin here, I'm looking to get a touch on this ball. I don't know. Let me see one more time. I wish the camera would stop glitching into the floor. Alright. I can't get over this play right now. That's tough. I will say that's very tough, and it's arguable. It's you could say that it's very hard to tell that that's a ball you can go for. I'm gonna be fair for Justin here. Definitely tough. Definitely tough. All right. It looked a lot more obvious the first time I watched it, but after watching it for the 20th time, I could see the hesitation that Justin might have there. It's a good play by Squishy. Jack being very threatening on the ball. It was a very tough read by Justin, but he does well. I gotta go back. I gotta go back. I gotta be fair here. Yeah, I feel like Squishy shouldn't be prioritizing this boost here. I gotta be honest. First time through watching this, I'm like, okay, if Justin is going to make this touch, it's going to be now, and this is going to be a pass to the side wall. Squishy needs to be going up the wall right now, but instead, he doesn't go up the wall for the pass. I think he could be there right now for this touch, transitioning downfield, but instead he prioritized hesitating on the boost. Not a huge mistake, not a terrible play. Because going for the pass here is probably going to be challenged either way. And if you get challenged up on the corner of the ceiling with 15 boosts, you're going to be out of the play for a minute. So it's not terrible that Squishy doesn't go for the continuation downfield here. But at some point, you do have to take risk. At some point, you have to try to maintain the midfield. You can't just always, again, as Squishy, you can't just always put yourself on defense, man. You got to take a risk sometimes to maintain that midfield pressure. And this is an instant where it's not necessarily a mistake when you do this one time, but if this is something you're doing, you're constantly not trying to maintain the midfield. You're constantly not trying to transition downfield. You're constantly not trying to apply pressure. you're never going to have pressure. You're never going to be able to transition downfield. You're never going to be on offense. It's a really good play by Squishy again. It's a really good play by Squishy again. It's like really good possession play. Could he hit this around him to the right? Probably. Is it worth it? It might not be, honestly. There's nothing wrong with this play. It's just like Squishy, what Squishy's doing really well is like constantly keeping possession, constantly getting challenges that keep the ball in play. He's constantly keeping the ball in play, but he's not creating any chances. He's keeping the ball in play, but it's all very easy for the opponents to deal with. I feel like either Squishy needs to try to make some more volatile plays, just try to get the offense developing somehow. You got to try to make a scoring opportunity. Yes, you're keeping the ball on offense, but you're not creating any real opportunities, unfortunately. So he either needs to try to just do more, make slightly more volatile plays, or he needs to have like his teammates really close following him up on these plays. But that's really tough. That's really tough. Ooh, what? We're at 100 boost. We burned 10 of it. What? So Garrett with the challenge again, throws himself out of the play, completely whiffs. Come on. For Garrito here. What are we thinking? Okay, he's probably only seeing, to be fair, to be completely honest, he's probably focused on Nolly there. That's really tough in this two-dimensional flat image game when nameplates are stacked on top of each other. It is very hard to tell what the hell is going on. So he probably thinks he's defending Nolly here. Honestly, probably doesn't even see Chronic this entire time. So it's honestly kind of fair. I can't get over this turn. I gotta find out why Squishy thinks that this is a good play here. You're clearly not challenging Chronic before he takes this to the air. So Squishy makes the play to grab the boost. He burns 20 boosts from 100 to grab a new 100 boost. And then aerials from the ground. I think if he just goes backboard here, you can challenge off the ceiling. You can fake challenge off the ceiling, wait on the backboard. You can challenge from the backboard, stay on the backboard. That was a really bad challenge by Squishy. Yes, he got the touch. I think that was a bad play by Squishy still, though. Not only did he steal 100 boosts from, I think it was Garrett, who was on his rotation back, maybe Justin, but made that challenge harder on himself than I think he had to. It's fine, it's fine. Let me go back. I want to see how this play develops again. We're doing a really in-depth analysis here. This is going to be a 3-part series, so we have the time to really look at this stuff. I got to go back further. Justin's in the corner. Garrett's there. Okay, Justin. It looks like Garrett was trying to get a midfield pass to Justin. Would have been a good play, good try. Justin, I got to see this from Justin's POV. So Garrett trying, oh, it might have just been trying to shoot that. Justin trying to get a speedy read. Okay, fair. Garrett keeps it in play. But Squishy now isn't there for it. I mean, it's really hard from Squishy's point of view to be there for it. You got literally 4 cars in one area. You cannot really tell what's going on. And you got both your teammates in front of you. The last thing you want to do is commit for offense there. Jack gets the dunk back your way, and then it's a free net. So Squishy really does nothing wrong here. He's got to do something big with this. That's a really great touch around the first guy. He gets a second touch. That's a great play. Is this a goal? Damn. I'm telling Squishy, he's got to do something. Like, this is one of the best opportunities they've had all game right here. And what does he do? He beats the first guy, gets it around him, and gets a second touchdown to the mid. Great play by Squishy. Justin tries to get the shot or the pass. I got to see this from his point of view. See if the decision making could have been better here. Gets a touch mid. Just a really weak shot. That's, again, I mean, Justin, just like the same point we made with Garrett, playing 8 hours a day. Justin realistically playing probably 12 hours a day. This guy plays all the fucking time as far as I can tell. I mean, that's just trying to get a low shot because Chronic's on the wall there. Damn, I mean, that's really good defense by Chronic as well. Honestly, this isn't their replay analysis, but to be fair, that's a really good prediction from Chronic. 3 boost as well. Yeah. Defense kind of peaking on NRG there. Unfortunate. Let's go back one more time, though. One more time. Can Garrett go for the bump here? Can Garrett try to be... At this point, got to realize Chronic's the last man back here. I mean, that's got to be... If you're going to try to go for the bump there as Garrett, like, that's got to be ingrained in your brain to try to do that. That's instincts. That has to be... Instincts? That's instincts. That has to be instinctual because you don't have time to make a decision as Garrett there. I don't blame him for turning back there. His instincts are not to go for the demo there, unless that is kind of like how you play, physical demo kind of play style. Like, you can't make that decision in the moment. Somebody has to either call for that, somebody has to put that idea in his mind, or he's not going to be able to come up with that decision fast enough. Like, you just can't make that decision fast enough. That's tough. That's tough. Alright. Squishy, that's a fine challenge. I'm fine with that because it takes away the touch from Jack. Right? If Jack's going to make a touch on this, it's going to be right now. So Squishy's challenging that because he doesn't want to be in a 1v1, especially not with that Jack. Not the best bounce out. Justin probably unaware that Squishy can go again here. Good bump. And I just want to see this one more time from Garrett's point of view. Oh, we just got crossed up. So I'm very confused why Garrett's even turning like this in the first place. So his teammates clearly, Nolly is clearly taking this ball in some way, shape, or form in this direction. Whether it's a pop up to the wall, whether it's a roll to the corner. That's clearly the direction that he's going with this. I don't see a world where he's bringing this direction. I really don't. I don't see a world where he's going in that direction. Again, I think Garrett is outplaying himself. He's trying to think 3 steps ahead. And he's expecting too much out of his opponents, I think. Like, I think you gotta just stop thinking so much, Garrett, and just play it like it's ranked, man. Just play it like it's ranked. At the end of the day, like, pros are super fucking good. But at the end of the day, Rocket League is Rocket League. At the end of the day, standard rotations and standard plays, like, high SSLs, pros, SSLs. Yes, the game is different, but it's also the same. It's the same game. Don't overthink it, man. If you've been in this situation 500,000 times and 490,000 times the ball goes in this direction, play that. Play that, man. That's the most likely scenario here. So why he's turning like this, I don't understand. If he just drives to the wall, he's got the entire angle covered. Now he's probably like, what are you doing? Thank you for the free ball, Garrett. Can I get to Nolly's POV, please? Hello? He went all the way from back here? Oh my god. He bails out his teammate here? Does Garrett not see Nolly coming? Is that why? No shot. We just looked at this. Bam, he's right there. I think he was maybe... Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay. In context. Getting an extra second in the film makes it make a lot more sense here. Wow. When you play it through at full speed, you can see why Garrett turns the way he does. He's trying to take it for a solo play here. But... that's crazy. I don't know. I feel like with volume, with sound cues, maybe they're over communicating. Maybe they're communicating and he can't hear the game. But with just the perspective of how long it's been since either player has rotated back on defense for the orange team, for Gen G. And he gets a decent amount of time. If you're listening to the players moving around the field, and he gets a decent, it's not like it's a instantaneous, like Nolly's there and makes a touch. Like, he gets a decent amount of time. So I can see why he turned this way. He's trying to get in front of the ball, make it pop, or maybe take a shot straight on net. But I feel like he had enough audio cues and enough spacing cues and timing cues and visual cues to not... his reaction, I think, could have been faster to not make that turn. But I, again, can give him the benefit of the doubt. Cool. Squishy demoed, unfortunately. He was going to be next on that ball. Garrett does well to keep it in play, though. Takes a turn for Squishy. Squishy, good challenge. Another, good enough challenge. Justin and Garrett trying to get some small ball passes going. Squishy misses a touch, unlucky. Messing up a couple touches here. Messed up the touch earlier. That he was going for to set himself up, and then messes up that touch. We've all done that. We've all been there. We've all done that. Again, I'm not going to give anybody any... I'm not going to be biased, because she's probably my favorite player in the entire game. But I'm not going to be biased. Again, those are the mistakes that you can't be making at this level if you want to win, man. If you want to win. It's tough, because again, like I just said earlier, Rocket League's Rocket League. At the end of the day, mistakes that you make at GC are mistakes that you can also make when you're a professional player. You're going to minimize those mistakes, but the reason people mess them up to begin with is because they are the hardest portions of the game, right? Something that's hard, something that's harder than something else is going to be something that you're more likely to mess up than something else. And that little touch there, as easy as it seems, is very easy to mess up. Again, it sucks that you're messing that touch up in the biggest moments of your career as a professional player, but even pros are bound to make mistakes. But maybe NRG just isn't grinding hard enough. Maybe they're not playing enough. Maybe they're not practicing enough. Because they have not had success in a while. And if constantly just making small missed touches, bad touches, weak touches is the reason that they keep losing, because they just can't capitalize on these tiny opportunities, it makes you think, like, what are the hours they're putting? I'm sure they're putting a ton of hours, and I'm sure it sucks for NRG to hear people say that they just look like they're not playing enough, because they're probably killing themselves playing so much, trying to get back on their shit. So I feel for NRG here. I really do. Maybe they really are. Maybe Garrett and Squishy. Maybe not Justin yet. Maybe Garrett and Squishy are just falling off a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that age is starting to creep up on them a little bit. Their reaction time is getting a little lower. Their finger coordination's getting a little worse. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I'm 25. I play on PlayStation controllers. I played on Xbox my entire life growing up. So I don't know if that's why maybe the PlayStation controllers just aren't built amazingly for your thumbs. But my fingers slip off the analog sticks all the freaking time. If you watch my streams, man, my freaking thumbs slip off the analog stick so much. What are you doing over here, Squishy? I gotta go back. I was ranting. Doesn't get the reset, unfortunately. Gets the 100 boost. Okay, so he has 100 boost in this position. Waiting for maybe a big clear. See if he can get a redirect. Decides it's not worth it anymore. Goes for a demo instead. Good recognition there. Justin to the midfield. Can't quite get the best touch here. Ah, why is that not just the flip? Doesn't want to overdo it, probably. Doesn't want to overdo it, probably, is why he doesn't flip into this. But I feel as though if he flips into this, that's a perfect pass, and that's probably a goal. Bam. Ah, that's so close. He might, honestly, if he flips into this at this point in time when he has to, he would be flipping into this. It might actually go behind Squishy. Might actually be good recognition by Justin that he just barely doesn't have the angle to make the pass. It's just such small, man, such small details, such small mistakes that are plaguing NRG. Such small mistakes. Okay. This is sort of, again, I maybe brought it up at the start that maybe Squishy's playing too passive at times. Very wide rotation when his team is kind of on offense still, and he's going for this corner boost that Nolly's clearly getting to before him, and I'm sure Nolly's well aware that somebody might be trying to demo him. Very unlikely that you're doing anything in this position, Squishy, and he, instead of just recognizing that Nolly's getting this boost and it's unlikely he's just going to let you demo him afterwards, he commits to it. He commits to a low percentage play and then rotates all the way back to the corner. Instead of just let Nolly have the boost and maintain your pressure, rotate off of these pads and maintain the midfield here. Grab those pads off to your left. You could be in midfield right now with 50 boosts. He should be in midfield right now. He really should. And then this ball here, he could have probably been up for. If he doesn't go up for it, fine. He rotates back, and at this point in time, he's at the same position. He's got 100 boosts. At this point in time, if he was in midfield and decided not to go up and challenge Nolly here, Nolly gets the same touch still. And Squishy rotates back. Garrett comes in, or Squishy goes in. I think Garrett would probably be the one to come in, considering he's back in that right corner with plenty of boosts in that play. Right? Squishy could have challenged this, could have not challenged this. If he doesn't challenge this, he rotates behind Garrett. Garrett comes in for this next touch right here. So that play just goes back to Squishy committing for the corner boost when Nolly's clearly getting it, and it's unlikely he's going to demo Nolly afterwards. And then he gives up the entire midfield. Good beat. Oh! There it is, man. Who finished that off? Who was that? Garrett, the speed, and that had to be communicated, I think. That was great. Great job, NRG. I do think that when Squishy, I think Squishy's an amazing. I said this already before. I think he's still one of the best players in the world. He's my favorite player in the entire RLCS and probably all of Rocket League. I think this guy is still as capable as when he was on Cloud9 in terms of like relative abilities, because obviously the players of today are much better than the players of 10 seasons ago. But I think Squishy's still that effective relative to the skill level. I think if you give Squishy the ball in open space, you give Squishy the ball on offense, he's very, very deadly on the ball offensively. And I think that NRG can definitely benefit from putting Squishy up front more often. Yes, and Justin's very good offensively as well, but I think that Squishy needs to be on offense more. Because, I mean, if you notice, anytime Squishy has the ball in open space, he's making a great play. He's making a phenomenal play every single time that this guy gets the ball in open space. Garrett, I think if he can fix his challenge game, fix his touches a little bit, just go back a little. I think he's overthinking a lot. I think he needs to be a little bit more basic. I think Garrett just needs to be a little bit more basic. He needs to simplify his gameplay a little bit. I think he's trying to do too much. I think he needs to simplify his gameplay a little bit. Just be more solid, be a rock, and let Justin. I don't want Garrett to be defensive. I don't want him to be a defensively minded player. I just want him to simplify his gameplay a bit. Yeah. All right. So what's this? Let me go back again. Again, we've got an entire uncontested midfield. Squishy misses 2 pads. And then he's flipping all the way back to the corner. Squishy, what are you doing, bro? Oh my god. How is this not an obvious mistake? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Grabs that pad. The ball's going back the other way. Why? Grab that pad. Okay, maybe he accidentally missed it. Okay. But don't flip. No, where are you going? Squishy, why are you coming for the back boost here, dude? Dude, grab this boost pad. Grab and turn up this way. And then you're fucking right here. You're right here with like 40 boost. Maybe you're here, and then you're up here. I mean, he ends up in the same place with relatively the same amount of boost. But if there was a different opportunity, right? You can't just look at this and say, "Oh, in this play it was fine." You're trying to generalize the situation, right? And if this goes slightly differently, Garrett gets like a touch that bounces off the wall to midfield or something crazy, a 50-50 or something that comes out free over here, I think it would be better to be there for it. It's just that's just an obvious mistake to me. Right? Grabs the boost pads I was talking about and is already in midfield right now. Is in midfield. If Garrett, this play develops slightly differently, ever so slightly differently, Garrett gets around this ball and passes in midfield, Squishy could be there for it. It was just bad positioning, man. Bad rotation and positioning by Squishy there to go all the way back for the corner boost there. And the thing is, like, Squishy is my favorite player. Squishy is like the main person I learned everything that I know, and how I play the game is like how Squishy kind of taught millions of people to play the game through his YouTube videos and his live streams back in the day. So this is information that I'm sharing with you guys, is information that Squishy knows, or that the Squishy of the past knows. Like, this is not a new concept to Squishy. It's crazy to me that I'm seeing him make mistakes that he very clearly has pointed out to other people in the past. No shot. No shot, dude. I would be so pissed if I was Justin here. You're telling me if I'm Justin, you guys hear me say it all the time. In this position, you don't even have to go for the ball. Justin shouldn't even have to go for the ball here. He should be fine with his teammates behind him. He shouldn't even feel like he has to go for this ball. He should not even feel like he has to even go for that ball. If he just baits Jack to have to make a touch because he's sitting here and then he moves upfield for a pass, he should be able to trust that Squishy is behind him in net ready to make the save. And ready to make the pass, I should say. So why does Squishy... Dude. The mistake here, two things. Yes, you can say, oh, he should have stayed back post. He should have stayed back post. And then he'd be there. He'd be covering the entire net. Yes, completely true, 100% true. But again, something I've learned from Squishy, is that you can rotate to the near post because the meta has become so demo heavy that this player, Appjack, after he makes his touch, is going to rotate through looking for a demo. But if you're hiding behind this post, it's very hard for them to get a bumper demo. So I'm fine with him going to the near post there. But you have to face the opposite post. If you're going to one post, no matter what post you're at, you should be facing at least slightly towards the other post. At least slightly. But he positions to the near post, and he's just sitting there facing the near post. Dude. Oh, that's so no. Dude. Ah, man. Wow. That's tough, man. That is very, 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 very tough. So again, just like I predicted at the start, before watching, just off of the few games that I've seen of NRG struggling, I watched NRG at Worlds, this last Worlds in Texas. I was actually at LAN. I watched pretty much I watch all their games, yes. I watch them every once in a while. And I pointed out before even watching this that the mistakes I've constantly seen from NRG is Garrett, bad challenges, whiffing the ball, bad challenges and whiffing the ball. What did we see here? We saw a lot of bad challenges. Not a lot. We saw a couple bad challenges by Garrett. We saw Garrett outplay two, but then rush the play on the third. Get a weak touch when he was trying to shoot over the third man. Again, I mean, as somebody who's playing 8+ hours a day, you wouldn't expect that sort of, you don't want to see that sort of mistake. Squishy, we pointed out, plays too passive sometimes, gives up the midfield sometimes, messes up on defense sometimes. We saw exactly those same things. Justin, I said I really don't notice too many mistakes from Justin. This game, didn't notice many mistakes from Justin. I love NRG, man. They're my favorite team. Love the players. I just want to see this team do good again. What I think, based on this game, this is Squishy's point of view. We did focus a lot on Garrett, though. Squishy, you're giving up the midfield a lot, man. You gave it up twice, 2 times at least. That you rotated all the way back to the corner when you didn't need to. Grab the boost pads, stay in midfield. This is something you've taught me before, bro, indirectly through your YouTube videos. You know this, Squishy. You know this. Why are you making these mistakes? It probably is tough as a pro. because pros are so good at getting the ball from one end to the other end so quickly and so fast. He probably doesn't want the ball to be shooting over his head to where he can't get back to it. But if the ball shoots over your head, unless it's on target, unless it's going in the net, which is not the majority of times, yes, pros are super freaking good, Squishy. We know this. They're very capable of shooting from anywhere on the field. But don't over-respect your opponents, man. A lot of the time, and I think any of these situations, if you're in midfield with 50 boost, I don't think there was any world where you had to worry about somebody shooting it over your head to your net. I think you're giving up the midfield way too much, going back all the way back for corner boosts. I think you're really effective on offense. I think you need to get the ball more on offense. I do. I think you're an amazing offensive player still. I think you're an amazing defensive player still when it comes to keeping the ball in a safe position and clearing the ball out of your end. But clearly we saw your positioning in net was pretty bad there. Twice your positioning in net was pretty bad. Garrett needs to simplify his gameplay. But he'll probably be next. He'll probably be the next video part of this series. So if you like the video, leave a like on the video. Leave a like on it. Share it around. Maybe if we share it around enough, give it enough likes, maybe NRG will see this. Maybe they'll hire me to be their coach. You know, I don't want to replace Sizz. I don't want to do that to my dude Sizz. Maybe I could be an assistant coach. Maybe I could be head coach. Sizz could be assistant coach. That'd be sweet. That'd be awesome. But maybe the NRG boys will see this, take it to heart, work on it. Probably not. Probably don't want to take advice from a lowly GC2. They're probably like, man, fuck this guy. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. What we do here is we post educational content bent on making you guys better players. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to drop the sub for more content in the future. Follow me on all my social media, links in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next part of this series where we'll be focusing on Garrett G. Until then, peace.